Hi, this is Rick, and today I've got an Age of Empires 2 HD Edition 4v4 game. So it looks like I'm just starting off the game. What I normally do is try to build two houses, do a little bit of scouting. I usually check out the tech tree as well, just to see if I should go for archers, horses, or infantry. That's the word I'm looking for. So Incans, to start with a free llama. What's the other bonuses? Let's just have a quick look. Okay, I get an eagle scout instead of the standard scout. Villagers benefit from blacksmith upgrades. Oh, interesting. Houses support 10 and buildings cost 15% less stone. And let's see, team bonus, farms are built 50% faster. A solid race. So just starting off with the standard build, getting 6 villagers on sheep. 6 villagers on sheep is the amount that you need to be able to get enough food intake to constantly be able to produce villagers. After that, I usually get about 4 to 5 on wood. So, just using my Eagle Scout to scout the map and find my sheep, find out where the boars are, find out where the gold is positioned, find out where the berries are. Okay, so I'm now up to 9 villages, and just clicking up to loom now. It was around about when I try to get it, around about 9 to 10, that's when I usually start to try to lure my boars. And to lure boars without loom, well, I mean, maybe in single player it's okay, but in online there's so much lag, and it just gives you a little bit of leeway, that little bit of extra health points to be able to just survive those boar lures. It's so easy to misclick. And it's definitely good not to neglect loom as well. You can play against people who forget to research loom, and later on it just makes killing all their villagers so much easier. So easy when they forget to research loom. So I usually try my best to make sure that all my villagers are harvesting off one sheep. Whenever a sheep is taken, it does decay very slowly, so ideally you want all your villagers just to feed off one at a time. And I've tried hotkeying them, but sometimes with just lag, I always let my villagers loose, because when they finish harvesting on one sheep, they'll immediately go to the second one, and they can hit them off immediately, hit them off by themselves. Lately I found also when you just start feeding off one sheep, that's the best time to send a guy out to lure the boar. It works about just right, so you just hit the sheep and then send the guy right off to start hitting the boar. So shoot the boar twice and they will start luring it. And normally I get the villager to garrison into the town centre as well, so that way when the boar comes towards the town centre, we'll just basically walk into all the other villages as well. Oops, going back a little bit. Okay, there we go. I used to neglect my boar, I used to just harvest a sheep and go straight for the berries, and I totally forgot about harvesting the boar and the deer. I didn't forget about them, but I just plainly ignored it. I guess as a newer player, building farms is just so much easier just to set and forget. But boar and deer they give so much extra free food, and it really does set you up and pushes you faster in the early game. So definitely good to get your sheep, lure the boar, second one down there, and then mill the deer. I sometimes see better players chasing the deer into the town centre instead of building a mill right next to it. Right there, that's a mistake right there. It really should just feed off one deer at a time. And I think I remember at the time when I played this, I was like, how annoying. But I suppose this is why I'm analysing my games, to see just where I can be a little bit more efficient in every little part. And that's the cool thing about this game, is all these little efficiencies. They really add up. They might seem small and nuanced at the start, but yeah, they all add up and can give a profound effect later on down inside the game. So just doing some more scouting around, spotted by the green player. Even though each game has random generated maps, it's always going to be the same thing. You're going to have sheep around, you're going to usually have 2 boars, you've got berries, deer, and basically you want to spot where all these things are. It can be so frustrating when you can't find your sheep. That's usually one of the ways, if you know you're going to have a bad game, is you can't find your sheep. And it can be the same thing with the boar. If you can't find your boar, that's also a huge trouble. So I would have just hit my sheep and sending out a villager to go fetch the second boar. And see, I'm about 18, 19 population. What I also see some players doing is whenever they are going to go fetch their boar, they pop down a house. But for the Incas it's a little bit different because each house gives you 10 population. Makes it a lot easier, you don't have to worry so much. But I think, see how my population's at 45, it would be normally at 25 instead. So I sort of dropped down another house just out of habit. So just now getting my guys onto berries, and it looks like the deer has almost all been finished up. Remember here, 21 population, and the top left I'm pointing at the screen as if like, you know, like you can see where I'm pointing at, but I know, it's like I know you can't see it. But anyway, in the top left, look at the population. 21, that's usually when I used to try to click up the feudal age. I don't do that anymore. I think 1v1's feudal age rushes probably more effective, because there it really does pay off. You know, you take the gamble that your feudal age rush will really cripple the opponent and delay their timings. However, in team games, I find feudal age rushes are just too risky if you don't have the proper coordination with your teammates. And I'm mainly playing like sort of just pub games, and with pub games it seems to be that the meta is that everyone sort of starts attacking in the castle age. Not saying it doesn't happen, and of course there's rushes as well, but a castle age rush seems to be the more safer option. Or even people not building anything until Imperial Age. So, continuing to queue up some more workers and build some. Plocking down quite a few farms. Let's not build farms until Feudal Age as well. Trying to rely on getting all my food just from berries, boar and a deer. But I've found that actually putting down farms in the Dark Age, this helps boost the economy for later on. And because I queued up so many people just to go directly to wood, it means I can afford those farms quite easily. Okay, so just clicked up to Feudal Age. So just as a brief look, it looks like about 10 people on wood. About 17 to 18 on food at the moment, and I usually get about 3 guys to go on gold. And just scouted the guy closest to me, and I was building a wall all the way on that side. That means he's invested quite a lot of resources into that. I'm not so sure about that. I think you have to be a little bit picky of your walls. It's either you wall off very specific choke points, or you just don't build walls at all. Another good thing is houses. You can also use houses, because you've got to build houses anyway. You can often use houses just to wall off very specific parts. I don't really have an example here at the moment though, so I can't show you here. But just continuing to run around and see his base. He is, I will give it to him, he has almost walled off his entire base. I'm getting a barracks up and I want to start producing some Eagle Scouts. So there is a bit of a race at the moment. Basically, can I get my guys out before he can complete a complete wall off? And double bit X, important upgrade. I find as soon as you get to feudal age, upgrade it. Also that wall is almost finished. I don't want it to be finished, so sending my scout in, get some damage. And nah, it's not gonna work out. Villagers with Loom, they are about as strong as a scout. So one-on-one they can take them on. Because I'm gonna go pump out Eagle Warriors. 20 food and 50 gold. Heck. I didn't realise they were so gold intensive. So I'm clicking up the gold economic upgrade to get some more gold for them. Popping down the blacksmith. I think that was also another thing when I was just starting to play the game. It's something I really neglected, is the upgrades for my units. And those upgrades, yeah, they're really important. It's surprising how much of a difference they can make. I mean, especially for archers, you get the extra range. And for infantry, well, if they can take one more hit, then effectively they're still alive and still fighting. That's the thing about health points on a unit, is it doesn't actually matter if they're at full health or low health, as long as they're alive, right? As long as they're alive, they can still fight. So all those little upgrades, yeah, really, really important. Alright, so I got 2 barracks now and starting to pump out these Eagle Scouts. Eagle Scouts, such a strong unit. There's no counter to them. Like, you know, whereas archers, horses will counter them, skirmishers will counter them, horses, pikes counter horses. Infantry, well, archers kill infantry. Eagle Scouts, yeah, they're unique on their own, because they're pretty much good against everything, and they can run fast. Look how fast they run. I mean, perhaps maybe Man-at-Arms or the champion line is the counter to Eagle Scouts, but at the same stage, like, the Eagle Scouts can just run away. So from memory, I remember saying that the way that, because they've got no counters, the way to balance them is they've got a longer production time. Oh, found one villager just sitting on the outside of the wall. Not sure what he's doing with that second wall. That little second wall, maybe just to zone off the gold there. But I'm questioning that tactic of his. Quite proud of my farm placement at the moment. That's all these small things, you know, try to get them all as close as possible to the town centre. And okay, so the wall, he did manage to complete the wall. But it looks like I can break through fairly easily. Okay, what am I doing here? I already got blacksmith. Yeah, okay. Getting a market. Oh yeah, look, already broken through. Probably what he should have done is, that wall really is only there to buy him time. If I was him, I probably would have gone to try and build a house behind it, or build a stone wall behind it. That little bit of extra time will just help you put up a house, and that would be harder to break through. Alright, so one scout down. Eagle Warriors, they got bonuses against cavalry. I mean, yeah, it's really such a strong unit, fast, and basically able to tackle anything. Not only that, it's probably got good armor as well, so archers, can't even really fight against them. Oh, looks like there's a pause here. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately I bullied him and he quit. That's alright. There's still 3 more players which we can still go against. Alright, getting more farms down. Yeah, I don't know if everyone else does it, but I find it easiest just get the town centre, keep creating villages, putting on wood, and then just periodically peeling off villages and putting them on farms. Building farms is such a big part of this game. You just gotta keep building farms and replanting them. It's a micro mechanic that really almost it stops you from being able to micro so well sometimes, because you have to keep remembering to build them. And it's all those little distractions which I think in some ways makes this game fun. It makes it really hard to master. Alright, it's a pretty good army. Ooh, town centre. Okay, so just making sure to keep outside of the range of that town centre. And oh, right there, like there. At any moment he can press that bell. Oh, there you can see the flag just pop up and arrows starting to come out. But look at that, you know. Even despite being infantry, they seem to have pretty good pierce armor and able to tank a little bit of that arrow range. Alright, now here, this is a perfect example of an effective warlock. Really, really good example. So he's built houses and palisade walls just where he needs it. So he didn't need a wall all the way around, but that right there protects all those villages from being attacked. Oh, it doesn't protect them all. Oh, he's really got 2 town centres down. So he's really taken on a much more boom build, as we can see. So he's got 2 town centres down. That must mean he's got probably no military. He's probably got nothing to be able to defend against these. I mean, he is relying on his town centres to be able to house units, so that means I can't kill the villagers. But the villages which are inside the town centre, I think here's the thing, is the villages inside the town centre, they're almost as good as dead, because they're not doing anything. So as long as I can position those guys over there, just keep them from mining, keep them scared, yeah, they're really being effective. So just standing there, and in the bottom left, I've changed, done a little bit more lag. In the bottom left for those Eagle Scouts, I've changed, I think he's quit.
He quit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You rushed on him?
I rushed on the grey guy. Now trying to fight the green guy. Oh, he's quit as well. Okay. There's just one guy left in. The orange guy. Yeah, what a pity. Oh, I was having fun raiding that guy's base. Yeah, what I was going to mention was in the bottom left, you can change your stance from aggressive to stand ground, and that way you can keep your guys from basically rushing into dumb situations. And stand ground means you can just right click them, put them somewhere, go work on your base for a little bit without having to worry that they're running off and getting killed by a town fire. Okay, we'll just speed up. I can't remember if there was too much more interesting. There's just one more player to go for. And you know, I think I started to play it a little bit safe, just boom up, make sure to get a few more guys before I press out for another attack. Now at Castle Age, so can upgrade those Eagle Scouts into Eagle Warriors, a lot more stronger. Yeah, Incans, good race. Yeah, solid race. Alright. See what's happening now. Oh, yep. Attacking orange. Oh. Let's see how these Eagle Warriors handled these horse archers. Losing quite a few of them. Oh, there's more there. Oh, wait. Oh, no, actually, that's my teammate. I thought there was like heaps of horse archers down there.
Oh, you got the Eagle Warrior.
Yeah, they're very strong, eh? Oh. They're really strong. Like, really strong. Like,
oh, there's gold in the middle.
yeah, there's a lot of gold in the middle. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time. Yeah.
Then you killed 3 of them.
Yeah, I killed the grey guy first. He wasn't that good. And then after him, just walked towards the green guy, and then he quit. And then orange guy. Yeah, Eagle Warrior is so strong. I can see why people played him now.